guess it would be nice if, like me, that today you learned that that's called the Bo Didley beat. Yeah, that's the Bo Didley beat. And this is Bo Didley's 1957 Gretsch Jet Firebird 6131. Come learn with me. So I was today years old when I found out, you know, through the Wikipedias and the Googles, that's the Bo Didley beat. You know, you think it, you know, of Faith or I Want Candy. But really, it started off with Hey, Bo Didley, song by Bo Didley, the man that rocked this guitar. In fact, oh, looky here. Recognize that guitar? Oh, wait, I hold it in evidence. Number 2. Do I do this? Now, first off, let's just give points for the jacket, bro. Can we just say, be like Bo? And I'm not talking Bo Jackson, bro. I'm talking Bo mother-friggin' Didley. 1957, Gretsch Jet Firebird, which, by the way, they started calling the Bo Didley Firebird because of this guitar. This exact guitar, black back. Just a little bit of Bo Didley that rubbed off with these individual open back Grover, I think they're called Statite tuners. It's above my pay grade. And look at this beautiful walnut veneer with the Gretsch T-roof logo. That's about as real deal as you get with these pearloid hump top inlays. And the thing is that's crazy about this guitar is that it looks brand new. But this is what Bo Didley used for, I believe, a bunch of his recordings. I don't know exactly which ones. You saw it on the cover of 3 records, so he loves this guitar. He loved this guitar. I have to be honest. I don't know a lot about Bo Didley. I didn't know a lot about Bo Didley because Bo is from the 50s. And as much as I know I need to respect the guy, that he played a guitar that was like a freaking rectangle, and, you know, that he's old school, that's about it. How many people really know anything about Bo Didley? Well, the first thing that I learned was that rhythm, the dun 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 dun. You hear it in so many different songs. It's called the Bo Didley beat, and I say it's so important because from rhythm and blues to hip hop to rock and roll, that beat kicks ass. And I immediately think of George Michael's because when I was younger, you know, Faith, that was the tune. It's so iconic, you think. Everyone uses it like this anthemic, you should be standing like the original OG Zakk Wylde power stance. Do you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. He won a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. He was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987, but it was 2003 that he was inducted in the Blues Hall of Fame. What? First off, I didn't even know there was a Blues Hall of Fame, and I didn't know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame existed in 1987. Like that was a thing. And was Bo Didley even rock and roll? I guess he was rock and roll, right? Well, let's talk about some of his hits. Who Do You Love? Who Do You Love? George Thorogood did it. The Doors did it. I mean, I know it from the Doors. Who do you love? It's just Jim Morrison up there all sweaty and freaking high as a kite. You don't know if he's gonna pull out a schlong. Awesome. But really, that's a Bo Didley song. And one song that I used to love Eric Clapton playing all the time was a song called Before You Accuse Me. Before you accuse me, take a look. All my life, Clapton. Elvis Presley, totally impressed by Bo Didley. Buddy Holly, he had Not Fade Away, his biggest song ever. Guess what beat he uses? The Bo Didley beat. And even more recently than that, the Rolling Stones. I want to say the Rolling Stones have covered a bunch of his songs, but in particular, I think they did Mona, which you go and listen to it, and Bo's got a crazy voice, man. The guy could sing. His influence was incredible. But the fact that he has a beat named after him, that's the funny thing, is you can't copyright a beat, right? I can't go and say that that's the We Will Rock You beat because anyone can use boom, boom, clap, whatever. I'm not a drummer. The point is you can't copyright a beat, but you can name it after someone. And in this case, Bo Didley. It's funny because there's all these trolls like, how do you not know about Les Paul? How do you not know about Buddy Guy or Bo Didley? Because I'm not 70, bro. Like, all right, I read Guitar World magazine. I know that he had a box guitar, but like, and I know he's supposed to kick ass. I know that when I'm having conversation with people and they're like, Bo Didley, you're like, yeah, man, he's cool. But do you really know Bo? Look at these DeArmond pickups with the original kind of tortoise shell, I think they call them, like insets. These are as old school Gretsch as you get. And they're rated at like 8.5 and like 9.5K. Not only are these Gretsch knobs heavy, but on the sides they're riveted. So like if you look at Dimebag Darrell's ML, right? He used to have his boy Grady take like a hot soldering iron so that like he could get some topography on his knobs so that when he's like doing all kinds of volume swells and rolls and shit, that his little sweaty hands didn't fall right off of it. Not Bo. Bo's got metal on his Gretsch, and he can grab that, he can do what he wants. And of course, unlike Gibson, you got 2 volumes, 1 tone. Gretsch knew that all you needed was 1 tone. My friend Esmond is on the board for Penn New England, and they were giving an award away at the JFK Center. My buddy Jim's like, hey, you wanna be here, we got you a seat. What do you mean? We got you a seat. Yeah, no, it's not, you can't just get in there. You're like, you gotta show up. It's an award ceremony. I had this foofy blue shirt on with a Burberry tie trying to fit in with all the elitists. Like, what's going on? Like, one of the Kennedys there. Like, it's a big deal. I walk in, there's Keith Richards. There's Elvis Costello. There's Chuck Berry. There's Paul Simon. There's Salman Rushdie. Who's that guy? I think I saw him on Jon Stewart. What? It was supposed to be an award ceremony for excellence in lyricism. And the inductees, the first ones for Penn New England, were Leonard Cohen and Chuck Berry. May they rest in peace, but they were alive that day. So I'm sitting there, there's Peter Wolf like 5 seats down from me. You have Chuck Berry sitting on the stage. Paul Simon goes up and gives this beautiful speech about, you know, Chuck Berry, my ding-a-ling was a great reference. You know, the importance of Leonard Cohen, waxing philosophic and hallelujah and all this stuff. Now, he's giving the award to Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry's just sitting back there like, after, you know, Paul Simon's done, like, and ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry like kind of waltzes up, like they have to like get him up. He's like 90, he looks like he could fall over. His fingers are like all facing the wrong direction. He walks up there and he goes, I can't hear anything that you're saying, but thank you. And then like walks over and Elvis Costello is supposed to jam with Keith Richards. Literally, Keith Richards is right over there. They walk on stage. Chuck Berry's confused. He thinks he's supposed to play. So he walks over to Elvis Costello and like begrudgingly takes his Super 400 away from him, starts trying to play Johnny Be Good. Can't. It's Johnny Be Bad. And then for the next 7 or 8 minutes, someone grabs another guitar for Costello, and like Keith Richards, Chuck Berry, and Elvis Costello have this uncomfortable, crappy jam. Here's the funny part. So my buddy Esmond had a party, and afterwards all the people went to his place. He's got like this crazy pad right in downtown Boston. It's sick. You have to take an elevator up there. And earlier in the day, Keith Richards people, he has like Secret Service people that go through your place. So they had to go like make sure that my buddy Esmond's place was like kosher. He could buy and sell Keith Richards. Like he's worth a lot of money and his place is super nice. So it's kind of funny just thinking about they had to make sure it was good for Keith Richards. So everybody goes over to my buddy Esmond's place, right? I'm standing there at the elevator. I'm like, oh, there's Elvis Costello. There's Paul Simon. There's Leonard Cohen. There they all are. The only guy that didn't show up was Keith Richards, the guy who sent his people. I end up sitting there and someone goes and asks to take a picture with Leonard Cohen. I had never heard of Leonard Cohen. He's sitting there talking to me. He thinks it's adorable that I have no idea who he is. I'm like, oh, congratulations. I didn't know a lot about your music. And he's just drinking this in. He had the fedora on, he put it on my head. Walks over another fedora, Peter freaking Wolf. Starts calling me Mr. Goodman, starts asking me if I want drinks. I don't know Leonard Cohen very well, but I'm like, Leonard, can you do me a favor? Chuck Berry's over there. Chuck Berry's in my friend's back room. He doesn't want to be around a lot of people. He's like sitting there by himself on my friend's couch. And I'm like, Leonard, can you take a picture of me and Chuck? I literally asked Leonard Cohen, could he take a picture of me and the holy Chuck Berry? There's me and Chuck Berry, but that was taken on my crappy camera phone by Leonard Cohen. I asked him, how's your cousin Marvin? He goes, what? How's your cousin Marvin? And it literally was exactly like Back to the Future, and that's all I needed in my life. The reason I say that is because in 1964, Bo Didley and Chuck Berry, the father of rock and roll, did an album called Two Great Guitars. And along with this guitar came this. So this was Chuck Berry's 1963 original hat, signed by him. You could see he sweat through it like a mofo, and he used to wear it all the time. And on the back by Bo Didley. Take out the hat. Oh man, it had a small head. And just say, Bo Didley, Chuck Berry, I love rock and roll, and I salute you. Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?